How you doing? I hope you're having a great day wherever you are in the world. And so we're gonna do something different, and we're gonna make something called Kiosk Mode. And so, if you don't know what a kiosk is, if I were to bring this up, you would see like a kiosk is kind of a standalone computer with limited access, and usually only does a few things. So we've been dealing with this whole thing with giving people balances and allowing them to. So if I were to go to new student, everybody has this balance. And so imagine that you have one of these RFID chips, or you have some kind of student ID badge, and you want to know how much money is on your account. It would be annoying to have to go to a staff and ask them all the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a mode called Kiosk Mode, where basically it'll be a limited user that's only allowed to do one thing, and that's look up balances, or look things where basically you can view but not really make changes to your balance. So if we were to come in here to the user spice dashboard, we'll go to user management first. So you'll see that we have two users already in there, and we can click on one, and let's rename this sample user. Let's call him Kiosk, and we are going to give him a name of Kiosk Computer. Okay, so I'm going to update that. Great. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go to permission levels, and we already have administrator, which is what's allowed to access the back part of the user spice, and then we have manager, which is right now manager is able to create new students and all that kind of stuff. We're going to add a new one called Kiosk that will have more limited permissions. And so basically, if I were to come back to I can click on this one here, I can see, I can search for my users, and I can add this permission. So right now I've added the Kiosk permission to the Kiosk computer. So if that didn't make any sense, it will soon. So basically what we want to do is we want to make a way for people to search their balance. Now, I'm really big in reusing stuff whenever we can, and so let's take this existing one, and we are going to duplicate it. So we're going to go here to duplicate, and we are going to say check balance. Actually, let's do this. Kiosk check balance. Now, I know that's a long name, but I kind of like to have these things grouped in here, and we said eventually we're going to change this name, and I'll get to that. But if we were to come here now to Smart Scan and type in Kiosk check, oh, I did not spell it right, Kiosk check balance.php, we're brought here to this page. Now we want to allow managers, admins, and kiosks to visit this page, and we're going to say check your balance. Okay, so now we have the same search box that we had before, and we'll make that prettier. We'll go back to that. But right now, what we want to do is we're going to change this code up a little bit. So I'm going to maximize this so you can see the whole thing. So if we look at it, we have a search box, and the search form is right here, and there's no problem with that. Search here, all of that is good. That's just a typical form. Now, what we were going to do is get rid of all this stuff down here. We don't care about displaying a table of all the users or anything like that. So we're going to get rid of all this. And then we're just going to have this part here. So if they search, what do we want to know? So now, search term, they're still searching for something. But right now, the only thing that we care about is the balance. So we're going to say select balance. Or is that what we call it? We call it balance. Yeah. Balance from students where RFID equals, and now we're going to get rid of all this. And I'm going to come back here and walk you through this. Okay. So what we're doing at this point, you have the form, and you're just going to scan your little tag there. And then, actually, let's change this to scan whatever. Doesn't matter. But so anyway, if they scan the tag, it's going to get whatever they put in that box, which hopefully will be an RFID number. And then it's going to say query, we're just assigning it to a variable called query, go to the database and ask it this question. Say, I want the balance from the students where the RFID is whatever they searched for. So what we're going to do, we're doing the same thing here, count, where we're getting the count. But now, because we made the change in the database where each of these RFIDs needs to be unique and there shouldn't be any duplicates, we don't care about getting a whole list of them. The only thing we want is, and this is going to be kind of weird, we want the first one. Because basically what's going to happen is if you search, you're either going to get results or you're not. And if you get results, you're only going to get one. And even if for some particular reason that you manage to get two of the same RFID badges in there, we're only going to care about the first one. And so you'll notice anytime we search, we're only going to go for the first one. So if somebody manages to duplicate an RFID badge and gets a new one made, then the only one that'll work is the first one. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, let's do the, we're going to do the whole redirect thing. So if I were to write it like this, if count is greater than 0, okay? So in other words, if I searched here and I got back some results, then what we're going to do is we are going to redirect to, and then we're going to say redirect to kiosk check balance. Now there's a lot of different ways to do this, but we're going to do it this way. Kiosk check, because we're going to assume they don't have a keyboard or anything at the kiosk. So kiosk check balance.php, and then we're going to put this message up at the top. So we're going to put the question mark, and we're going to write error equals your, and then if we put the pluses between them, it looks a little neater. So we're going to do balance is, and then I'm going to put the $sign here because I'm an American. America. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a period to say that we are going into, like, we're going to put a variable here. And so we have this thing here called results. And what we can do is we can say, I want to put the actual balance. So I have results and I have balance. So what we're going to do, we're going to put results balance like this, okay? So we'll test that in a minute, but we're going to do an else. So let's say if we have nothing. So we're going to say else, and then we'll copy this whole line. Okay. And then we are going to say, we're just going to say not found. Okay. So there's some things we can do to make this neater, but let's start with this. So we have the search box here. And now I'm going to search 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to say not found. I'm going to scan a real badge, and it's going to say your balance is $350. I'm going to scan another one, and it's going to say your balance is $100. I'm going to scan another one, and it's going to say your balance is $1. So we have the basics working, and then in the next video, we're going to do a little bit more to make kiosk mode a little stronger.